Happening, everybody? I'm wishing you loving kindness to every one of you. Loving kindness. I found the word. Don't ask me where I found it or why I use it. You take it or leave it. So it's a love and kindness, right? So, um, yeah, the upcoming video will be about the Lord of the Ring. I have cliffhanged announced it 1 year ago about Gollum and the One Ring of Power. But before we get there, not in this video, not in this video. I will make it when I have more time for it. Um, you know, this one is about everything and nothing. When you have a man or a woman breaking out of narcissistic cluster B, dysfunctional relationship patterns, don't tell the person you have to forget and to forgive. You have to detach yourself. You need to speak positive affirmations. You must be so detached, and you need to raise your vibration. While all these things are not bad, it's not a way out of it. And I think what my message is on YouTube is a more practical, more realistic approach. It's not an easy way out. It's not this complete I don't know how to call it approach. No, but yeah, that's just something that I wanted to tell you all guys. If you struggle, if you have been like somebody tried to throw you over the edge, the thing is this: why have you become a target? It's because you are authentic. You don't act. You are authentic in anything you do. You have this. It's a form of alignment with yourself. You know who you are. You have a core identity. You have a moral compass. You have principles. You have identity core. You have empathy. You have functioning reality testing. You can use your fantasy, but you can check back to reality. You have a lot of things that narcissists don't have. And you have a lot of things that psychopaths don't have. Therefore, you get targeted, and they try to trigger exactly this balance that you have. You're a beautiful equilibrium. You're like a instrument that is beautifully, like a music instrument that is beautifully fine-tuned, and they can't have this because they are dysregulated or lack certain things, and they are after power and control and attention. So because you are not after all of this, yet you do better than them and you are a complete human being, there is this malicious envy, and yeah, they are willing to sacrifice you, and they are willing and they want you to become like them, and through abuse they push you into this hyper competitive fight and flight, narcissistic, psychopathic, dysregulated, borderline, whatever state. This is the goal. Because you're not that, alright? And I think we can fix that with positive affirmations and detaching of everything and forgiving everybody. But we can do it. We understand it. We need understanding, education, shadow work, real hard work. There's no easy way out. It's not the Lala approach. It's not acting something. It's not a new fantasy defense that we want for as a foundation for our personality. Yeah, anyway, there's one more thing I wanted to set right. I already told you fantasy is not bad. Fantasy is important. There are shadow sides to everything. Um, Again, narcissists create a fantasy for themselves. So the narcissist lives off co-idealization, which means they idealize other people so that these other people idealize them back, and everything happens within the narcissist anyway. This is why the narcissist is not participating in reality and has impaired reality testing. I'm tired of repeating this. While psychopaths create a fantasy not for themselves, the psychopath has working reality testing. He can create a fantasy to catch, imprison another person. So the psychopath creates the perfect fantasy of another person for the person and holds them captive within this cage. And the psychopath can enter the fantasy and exit the fantasy. It's very spider like a spider that enmeshes another creature, but can control it while the other person can't exit this fantasy because it's so perfect. It's just created for the person, while the psychopath is not interested in the best for the person, which means a psychopath can even not be sadistic, not be evil in that sense, but simply unempathetic and just for power. So he supports you for 10 years and then suddenly lets you drop before some external change. But the person that is within the perfect fantasy of the psychopath will not sense the external change because only the psychopath can exit the fantasy, make a reality test, and realize, oh no, I have to drop the person. All right, let me drop it. And then it's a very rude awakening out of that fantasy. All right. So what I'm trying to say you is fantasy is not bad, but we need to control our own fantasy and don't enter fantastic spaces of other people. They are most likely manipulative. Yet there is a healthy part to everything that narcissists or do in many cases. Most of it is a healthy part of it. I guess not about sadism or Schadenfreude, but idealization is basically the healthy form of idealization is love. But there's always a deeper and more holistic, more complete quality of an emotion than the replication of the narcissist. Narcissists overdo everything and split it into all good, all bad, which is like you create a drug that hits really hard, but it's not the natural way it should be there with all of the additional substances that are healthy and necessary. But the way narcissists act and create relations is like pure substances that have a very strong effect and therefore are addicting but also dangerous at the same time. All right, now, yeah, and what I also trying to tell you is that there is a difference between the concept of the collective subconsciousness, where the mythologic archetypes reside in. They are in some way very real. I even believe they are almost patterns in our DNA. And an archetype is a build of attributes that work well together, but it comes with a price. So every person in life that represents an archetype or that is more or less overtaken by an archetype brings a big sacrifice because you can't be, every archetype comes with a price. So if you fully commit to something, you can't be the opposite at the same time. And this means they are builds, and this is like a carnivore. A carnivore has a certain combination of traits that make him effective in hunting his prey, but you cannot have you cannot have all the features of all animals. You will be completely dysfunctional then. You will not be able to run very fast and able to digest everything and able to fly and able to dive and able to withstand long times of having no water and having being resistant to cold and being resistant to hot. No, you need to specialize on something, narrow down to a niche, and then commit to it. Right? Positive affirmations won't help you with this. It's good to love yourself, yes, but it brings you nowhere to. Okay, anyway, um, I'm mixing up too many things at the moment. Yeah, so I just wanted to make these things right, give you this small message and a small outlook into the future. The next video again will probably be about the Lord of the Rings, the One Ring, to find them all, to bring them, and bind them in darkness in the land of Mordor where shadows lie. The Ring of Power, yes, instrument of control that corrupts every soul. Yeah, and also about Gollum is a fascinating, deep, multi-layered personality, narrative, such as many characters in The Lord of the Ring. Stay safe, understand, understand the world, understand the world. Let nobody deceive you, don't get into echo chambers. Make nobody believe you that something is all good, something is all bad. Don't enter the fantasies of other people, especially if they are seductive, especially if they offer you a quick fix and they tell you you can quit your 9 to 5 job now and then you go home and do meditation and positive affirmations and you detach. See you, I don't know, see you in asylum then, right? Brothers and sisters, loving kindness, discernment. I wish you all the best. Stay blessed.